First,
Good.
let's take a big step back. IBD, IBS. Where does it start and why do you think the progression is there?
So this is a great question. This is really what the great debate is. Where does it differentiate? Now, one could again argue, and I hate to do this to you, Lindsay, because it's so easy to give black and white answers, but the reality is when you get to the nitty gritty of it, there is so much nuance behind all of this. This is what leaves room for discrepancy as to whether or not these conditions can even be reversed, whether or not they truly are autoimmune, and I believe most of them are not. And so we have to look at this. And so the argument can be made that IBS and IBD, your irritable bowel syndrome and inflammatory bowel disease, are the same thing, just a progressive sliding scale of severity. The differentiating factor being antibodies. Are they truly autoimmune with antibodies in the mix? But we know through studies, 40 to 60% of cases of IBD have antibodies. But those antibodies can be produced by other things like medications, even NSAIDs or stress and other things that can onset some of these antibodies under the right conditions. And so we have to ask ourselves, how legitimate is the antibody testing? And when most cases of IBD don't actually test for antibodies anyway, where is our data coming from? And so again, argue that the Western world is making leaps and bounds in their sort of assessments or assumptions around inflammatory bowel disease and its true origins of nature, which has left us pigeonholed to just taking drugs for the rest of our lives rather than looking for root causes.